Hey guys, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living, and my pollinator garden and my herb garden are going crazy, which is awesome, and everything is ready to be harvested, and hopefully it's early enough in the season that more will grow. And I thought I would bring you guys along and show you what I've got, what I'm harvesting, and what we can do with it. So we're going to start over here. This is my comfrey plant. I think I've talked to you guys about this before. It's really good for healing, good for muscle pain, bruises, muscle strains, things like that. I'm going to make salve out of this. Similar to my calendula salve, but calendula is for skin and this is more for aches and pains. So we're going to be harvesting these big, beautiful leaves on the comfrey plant, and it's got a lot in there, and then that'll also free up these smaller leaves down in there to grow up more leaves to harvest later. And then the comfrey has these beautiful little bell flowers that also come out of it. Just super pretty. And then I also have some dill plants planted down here in the front of my bed that I'm going to try to trim off some and hope that they bush up a little bit more. Next to them here is a ground cherry right there that I have growing. We'll see how that does. And then here is my lemon balm that you guys have seen before, and this thing is humongous and growing really well, and it's already flowered in some spots. I'm going to trim this way back and let it grow up again. Next to the lemon balm we have calendula that I think are just gorgeous. Beautiful little orange button calendula. Then I'm going to be harvesting the beautiful flowers so that more come up. That's my bronze fennel back there. I won't be harvesting anything from that. That one's just for butterflies. This is my swamp milkweed that's growing really well. Next to that is some more dill. And then we have my echinacea, and as you can see, the bees absolutely love, all the pollinators really, are just all over. Oh, there's another bee up there. All over this echinacea plant. One over there. Very cool. I'll be harvesting some echinacea, and on echinacea you can harvest both the petals and the leaves. I'll harvest some of those bigger leaves down on that. And then here I have borage. Lots of beautiful borage that the pollinators also love. Another swamp milkweed back there, doing really well. I haven't spotted any monarchs on there. We saw one monarch come, and I was hopeful, but then I didn't see any eggs or any caterpillars or anything like that. So I don't know if we'll get any of those. And then next to that I have my chamomile, I just harvested, I think maybe a week or two ago, and that'll be like my 4th or 5th harvest of chamomile. And then I have another ground cherry down there. That's another ground have one more. Oh yeah, one more right there. So there's lots of things growing in here. That's my bee balm back there that has yet to bloom, but it's still doing really well. And I'll show you guys what I harvest. And while I'm out here, I'm actually going to trim up this zucchini plant. I'm going to cut some of these bigger leaves off to kind of open it up a little bit, better ventilation, and hopefully get some more growth out of there. And then I'm going to trim back. This is a mojito mint plant that I have growing in a pot, and next to it is a peppermint plant, and they both need to be trimmed so that they don't flower, and more will come out of there too. So this is my basket so far. I've done quite a bit of harvesting. Right here in the front, I have the peppermint that I harvested. I've only harvested the peppermint so far. I didn't get the mojito mint because I didn't want to confuse the two. So this is my peppermint. Then under there, you can see I got a bunch of chamomile down there and some dill that I harvested. Then here I have the echinacea. The dill, the peppermint I can use to make tea and tinctures, and I'll show you guys when I do that. The dill I'm going to use on my pickling cucumbers to make pickles. Chamomile I'm going to make tea out of. The echinacea I'm going to use the petals and the leaves to make tea, and it's got great medicinal purposes, obviously. Unfortunately, a lot of my echinacea flowers, like you can see these ones over there that I harvested, they got really decimated by the Japanese beetles. So I'm hoping with the new growth, the echinacea that is blooming right now, I'm hoping that I can harvest those later once they're bloomed. And I think that the Japanese beetles are gone, or just about gone for the year. Those just don't look edible to me, so I'm not going to use those petals, but there were a couple that I was okay using. And then obviously some of the younger ones, I'll use these petals, these were nice, and then the echinacea flower, or the leaves. And I'll make, like I said, tea and tinctures out of that as well. Then I have all of my calendula flowers looking great, and I'll dry those and make oils out of those to make soaps and salves. I did harvest some of my natapenos so that I could get some more. I think I got 4 of those. Then I got a lot of lemon balm, and I make a tea out of that. We also used that when our baby was young. It helps really with stomach upset and gas and things like that. We used it for him. We made a tea out of it to help with his gas when he was a baby. The ones that have blossomed, I'll probably make a tincture out of that and soak them in alcohol. But I have a lot of that. And then these are my comfrey leaves, big beautiful comfrey leaves. And I'm gonna dry these and make salves. And I'll do the same thing with the comfrey that I do with the calendula. I'll put them in oils, steep them in oil, and use them in salves and maybe soap or something like that. So that's what I have so far. I'm also going to be harvesting my some raspberry leaves from my raspberry bushes over there for some tea. And I still have my herb garden over next to my shed there that I'm gonna harvest. So I also trimmed up this zucchini plant. I just made it a little more airy. Opened up the plant a little more. This is the peppermint plant that I trimmed. I still need to trim back this mojito mint. And then you can see this is the comfrey after I've harvested it. You can see much more of the smaller leaves in there, so this will grow up again. You can see that my lemon balm is much more trimmed down, but that'll get big and beautiful again. And then this is all that's left of the calendula. Gotta leave some for the pollinators. These are the little buds that I left on the echinacea. I didn't touch the borage. Harvested a couple of the natapenos. And then this is what's left of the chamomile. I left some of them for the pollinators. So I'm gonna be harvesting red raspberry leaves from my raspberry bushes to make tea out of. It's really good for the female system. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be harvesting young leaves like these ones down here. You really want to get them before they set any fruit. So over here is a lot of new growth that I have. So I'm going to be coming through and harvesting some of the leaves in this new growth. You want to get to it before it blossoms. And I'll make tea out of dried raspberry leaves. So I harvested quite a few of those raspberry leaves, and then of course while I was in there, snagged myself a couple raspberry snacks for the boys. And while I was over there, might as well harvest the blueberries that we had on the bush, and a little bit more dill for me to use with my cucumbers. So all in all, we got a really great harvest here. I'm really excited about what I can do with all that I have here. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.